Insights. I'm Eric. Thanks for joining us after the close here. I couldn't resist but to talk about silver a little bit before we move on to the weekend, or before we get to probably putting this review out now when I know no one's really going to be interested in it. But the setup in silver has been a long wait. We've called it a frustration for a long time, and that frustration is due to the energy that build that was in existence, and we've seen a significant change here. Funny how things change when nobody's looking, and that you couldn't probably time it any better. A quiet vacation riddled weekend for August sets up silver to probably one of the setups that we haven't seen since about 2010, and we're going to talk about that right now. The setup for silver is quite interesting. It's showing high compression now across the three time frames, but there is no alignment. The primary trend is still up, and it's not really extended into terms of the price or time cycle, and I expect that will continue. The daily is down, the weekly is down. The daily has been down for 47 days, and it's starting to show extension both in the price cycle and the time cycle. And really, now is not the time to be monkey piling on the short side of the trade, but I'm sure people are doing that. And the reason why is because the energy build here, and this has been something we've been waiting for. It's got a WA of 15, a DI of 76, and a DI2 of -2. It's the 76 that's pretty high, and it's probably going to be only a couple more weeks before this closes above zero, and this really starts to strengthen. This could strengthen through the whole month of August and set up a bottoms at some point in time here. But we're going to have to play this one in terms of the evolution of the trade very specifically. The energy build is not enough. There's no nibbling here. You only nibble against a primary trend build that's been or a primary trend that's been down for a long time, and we don't even have that. The primary trend for silver is up, and this is an energy build that's sympathetic with that uptrend. So we're going to have to wait for the three time frames to align. We're either going to get a double up where the daily turns up first, and then we're going to go to triple up, or we're going to get a powerful move that's going to send the daily and weekly up together. And that is what we're going to have to wait for. We're going to have to wait for a reset. But now that this energy build is significant and growing more significant with each passing week, the next reset is going to be the first reset that's viable, and viable since, well, for a long time. I mean, we haven't seen a viable reset within an uptrend until about, I think it was the last one was about 2009. If we take a look at the sticks here, we can see the trading range, and I don't, can go look at silver in terms of its reversal zones here. If we pull this down and we can isolate silver, we're at 21.35 on SLV ETF, and we've got some support around 22, 21, and around 19, and there's some overhead about 22. And then after that, there's a little bit at 23, and then it jumps up into an air pocket. So we got a lot of work to do before we get up into that air pocket. We're currently close to a lot of support, but it's not the supply demand zones that are most interesting at this point. It's really the energy build. And I want to point out, as we've dropped here, energy has finally spiked. And the last time the energy did this was right about here, and this was back in about 2009, maybe 2010, early 2010. We had a large bearish energy build that spanned quite some time here, and then a little bit of a down, another hit here. But it's just really this energy complex right here, very bearish, shows up right about there and slowed down, created some blocking domes. We had two of them. We have a similar setup here in 2021 that started with a blocking dome, another blocking dome. But the process now of here correcting here, we're finally releasing that energy build into this spike, which is sending DI up to 76 and DI2 to -2, will soon be above zero. Very similar to this spike right here, which coincides to this cup. And it was this cup and then this cup like right here that sends silver skyward. When you have this and combine this with the fact that the confidence oscillator is in a bearish phase, confidence is starting to wane. Everyone recognizes that there's inflation. It's not monetary driven, it's confidence driven. Yet silver is coming down. This is mostly a trading within that. I suspect that the energy is transferring over here onto the bull side, and the smart hands are picking, or the weak hands are dumping their position, and the smart money is picking that up. And that smart money is really what we're calling the invisible hand. So this is the long end of the frustration phase for silver. It ends quietly in August when no one's paying attention, and that's how it goes. I'll probably put this video up and probably refer to it as much as I can because this will be an important point. We can't go out and buy it. I wouldn't. The primary trend's already up, so we have a long core position. That long core position has been up for 15 months and a 26% return. It's come down quite a bit, but we've been waiting for energy builds. Now this energy build can get quite big. It can get up into the 80s, 90s, 100 and pull this all the way up. But the higher this is up here, the faster this is going to move up, and the more difficult it's going to find that the bears are going to be able to push the price downward forever. So eventually, the bulls are going to take control of this trend because the invisible hand is already accumulating aggressively. We can see that participation within the contracts itself, the futures and options contracts, it's below 20. So there's really nobody in the contract. And how does that look? We're just way down in here. And the similar thing happened when we turned up. The market went quiet before then it took off. So this is a quiet market. Invisible hand is accumulating, high compression. This is a perfect setup for a turn in the market that's probably going to come and become very noticeable in September. Excuse me. The way we're going to have to play this out, though, is we're going to have to wait for the 3 time frames to flip and organize to one another. Get back into triple alignment and don't try and anticipate this one and get ahead of it. Play this by the book. Follow the evolution of the trade very closely. So we're going to wait for a reset, and that's going to be a reset for three time frames. It's either going to be a double up or a triple up if the move is very sharp to begin with. But either one of them is going to be quite powerful, and we'll talk about it when it comes. So this is restricted content. So everybody who's been watching silver and struggling through it, it's it's coming close to coming towards an end. Again, I doubt this is going to be the conversation that takes place on the internet about silver this weekend. I suspect nobody's going to talk about silver at all, and they probably won't talk about it until it gaps up at some point. So if you have any questions, let me know. Contact me directly at the blog or leave some comments under the video. Either one works for me, but let me know. If you have any questions, shoot them over this weekend. If not, thanks for watching the video, and enjoy your weekend, and keep an eye on silver.